Branded wood. Unusual? Certainly, when a whole community buys a wood and then makes it their own. Making nature a part of their natural environment to spend time in, to enjoy a very different world. Walk the paths and rest a while, taking the different seasons that nature provides. Real progress is being made which can be enjoyed in its 1 mile length and half-mile width wood. Paths to wander down and benches to relax on, surrounded with a variety of trees, open spaces that allow for ever-growing number of wildflowers that gives food and homes to all sorts of wildlife. There is constant sounds of many birds and sights of butterflies, moths, bees, along with squirrels and the deers hiding from this modern world.
This is our Jubilee pond. It was planted in the year of the Queen's Jubilee, and the hedge was planted by local school children who had a very excitable day. They came from Binley Woods Primary School, and it's been very vigorous. It's grown very well since. The main point about it is it's very mixed, and it's got a lot of species that are, well, they're all natural species to the woodland. And there's a lot of honeysuckle in there too, and it attracts a variety of butterflies. We are aiming for a grizzled skipper, and we're trying to tempt it in by planting on the sunny side strawberries, wild strawberries, and we've put hardcore to keep the temperature as warm as possible.
The locals enjoy exercising themselves and their dogs with good walks for up to an hour and much longer. If one just sits on many benches next to the paths and ponds, allowing the essence of nature to meld with them, with the bonus of changing seasons revealing something different. Try a wood to provide a peace, which can refocus one's mind, which is so perfect for helping to smooth and redirect one's thoughts. Plus the exercise of the body making one's soul feel so much better. Keeping to the plan, volunteers always find lots to do replacing the pines and helping nature to live in harmony as it used to.
And always wanted to sort of use outside, interests sort of thing. So looked around and found the Brandon Woods was great. We got do a good variety of bits and pieces using skills of felling trees, clearing ponds. It's that sort of thing. It's renovating really. It's renovating to make it better than it was before, I think is what I'm after.
Volunteers are helping to turn the clock back and return it to an old English wood after it was changed in the 1950s to a pine wood plantation.
Now the reduction of pine is important because the pine were planted by the Forestry Commission as a timber yield which conflicts with a natural woodland, particularly an ancient woodland here, and we're trying to reduce the canopy cover. So the more conifer we can sustainably fell, the better, without going to extremes. In the days after the Second World War, the Forestry Commission, who owned the wood at that time, planted a massive amount of Corsican pine saplings which grew into large trees, and they swamped the woodland and provided too much shade, so the woodland was damaged by that. But since then, one of our first priority jobs is to thin out the pine. Not do it all at once. We don't want to traumatise the wood, and we don't want to have an adverse effect on the remaining broadleaves. But the main job is to reduce the shade and get the woodland restored to its previous prime condition. The local community bought Brandon Wood in 2000, and they made an appeal to local residents and local businesses and raised £130,000 to buy the wood. We monitor the animals and the insects to get an indication of how healthy the wood is. Why people like walking through the woods, they get great benefit from it. I mean, they exercise their dogs, they meet people, it's a relaxing atmosphere. And there's something about the smells and the sights of a changing woodland that are of mental benefits to people. Now, if you feel depressed, you can come into a woodland and realise that there are other things going on in life, there are important things, and you know, you're all part of a great team of humanity. So open spaces are good things in a woodland. They're necessary in a woodland. You don't have to plant a tree in every possible space.
The Friends of Brandon Wood joined the UK Butterfly Monitoring Service several years ago, so we do count butterflies once a week, every week through the season. We have 5 teams of volunteers who take turns counting, and this information is fed back into the Butterfly Monitoring Service. It's used nationally to be compared with other butterfly populations elsewhere, and we do get feedback telling us how well we're doing, because we know that the butterfly population does have something to do with the health of the woodland. I would think probably the most popular one is the speckled wood, because that we find throughout the season. However, there can be big populations of other butterflies at different times. We've been encouraging the grizzled skipper to come into the wood by planting wild strawberries.
A wood is more than greenery. Paths to walk with benches to rest. 4 seasons to appreciate. The mind rests in observation, alone for peace and harmony. The root of our spirit digs deep. Running brooks nourishing the earth. The trees, birch, elm, beech, ash and oak. Brambles, flowers, cowslips, bluebells. Robins, owls, blackbirds and buzzards. Butterflies, moths, bees, insects and bugs. With squirrels, deers and harmless snakes. All for you to appreciate.